Why is everybody turning here? What is going on? Oh, is there some kind of convention down there? Hey kid, it's Dad. Today's question is, who leads? We are talking about who is in control of a situation, who's in charge. So for us to talk about this, I'm going to use a Thai idiom. And the idiom that I'm using is Chang Tao Na. You know that your dad loves himself some idioms. I love simple idioms, like you get what you pay for, a fool and his money are soon parted, clear ones like that, you know what they mean right away. But I especially like weird ones that don't make any sense on the face of them, like don't look a gift horse in the mouth. What kind of sense does that make? Well, imagine my joy when I started learning Thai and I discovered the ocean of Thai idioms. I've been collecting them like people used to collect stamps. Stamps used to be a thing, kid. Ask me about it sometime. Had a screw fall out of my glasses here. Gonna stop and get it fixed. So I've had a couple people in the comments tell me that they've enjoyed the Thai language stuff that I've added to some of the videos. So I'm gonna try to add that in wherever I can, wherever it's relevant. Add a little language stuff in here. So let's start with idiom. Idiom in Thai is samnuan. If you look at the subtitle there, you're going to see that there's a little circle above the first character, the first letter, salsua. That little circle is paired with the vowel that comes after it. So it's sara'am. That's why it's samnuan and not sa-nuan. I know that was confusing for me when I was first learning. I'd hear that M sound at the end of a word, and then I'd see how it's spelled, and I'd say, where is the mama? And that's why it's not there. So let's talk about our idiom of the day, Chang Tao Na. Now, Chang Tao Na comes from an older saying. The old version is Sami ben Chang Tao Na, Panraya ben Chang Tao Lang, and that means the husband is the front foot of the elephant. The wife is the back foot. Obviously, that is problematic. A couple more language things that you might have noticed in the old phrase. Panraya and Sami are Haiso terms for husband and wife, respectively. Husband is Sami and Panraya is wife. If you hear those words like on the news, they just sound a little more posh than the words that you might be used to hearing on the street, which is pua for husband and mia for wife. So the phrase has changed over the years. It has lost its misogyny in a lot of circles, as well it should. Sometimes you'll hear it in a conversation between two people talking about their spouse. Now, this comes up a lot where the other person is kind of like what we were talking about in our last video. In our last video, we talked about the pushover and how you don't want to be the pushover, you don't want the pushover around you. The person who is the pushover can't be the Chang Tao Na. They can't be the person in charge. Everybody wants to be in a relationship where the other person can take charge every once in a while. And we decide that by looking at who is good at doing things. This came up in the last video too. We can't be good at everything. And you can't feel shy to let your partner take over sometimes. So when your mom and I are having a conversation about someone that we know, maybe they came to us and they're having some trouble and they want to chat about it. Something that we hear come up a lot is when one person feels exhausted or stressed out, that they're the ones that have to do everything all the time. We see this in Thai relationships, but we see it especially in Thai foreigner relationships. It can be rough. It can be rough when you're not a native speaker and you have to navigate Thailand, and if you have a Thai partner, it can be really easy to shift all of those burdens on them because it's just so easy for them. It's just so easy for them to ask questions and get answers and understand where to pay this bill or where to get this thing fixed or where to buy this thing. But that is a burden on your partner. You know, kid, one of the reasons that I went through some adulting skills with you is because I want you to be the Chang Tao Na from time to time. And it doesn't matter if it's most of the time one person, most of the time the other. It's a responsibility that needs to be shared. Now, your mom and I'm hoping that this is something that you see us doing, something that you see us share responsibilities, because there's things that your mom is better at. I trust her and her opinion on a lot of things, and the other way around. She trusts me with my opinion and my abilities with some things. I've got a long history in animal care and animal welfare, so if it ever has anything to do with animals, she'll defer to me. If it has something to do with Thailand and Thai culture, I'm certainly going to defer to her. And it can't be a pride issue, kid. You can never be too proud to let the other person take charge of some situations. There's nothing wrong with that. Because you don't want to go in the opposite direction either. You don't want to be the Chang Tao Na all the time and just take over and say, oh, well, I know how to do this. I don't want to wait for you. If your natural inclination is to be the Chang Tao Na all the time, then think of ways to help your partner stand on their own 2 feet, to learn new skills. There's things that I don't need her help for anymore because I know that burden. And she wants me to know. She wants me to be a strong, independent person here too. She wants to know that if anything happens, she can depend on me to get things done. We talk about different possibilities. You know, if this happens, what do we do? If this happens, what do we do? And the only way that you can do that effectively is if you trust the other person to be the Chang Tao Na from time to time. Now, kid, in your life, you might notice a cultural expectation for the guy in the relationship to be the Chang Tao Na. You know, the old parts of the saying aren't completely gone after all. And yeah, that's true enough. Nobody wants a weak-willed partner. Nobody wants a spineless partner. And you look especially bad as a man in that role. But that said, that doesn't mean that you can't share responsibilities. You should share your responsibilities. But being the Chang Tao Na from time to time, standing on your own 2 feet, being able to fulfill that role is a skill that I want you to have. And it's why I focus on the things that I do, not just in these videos, but in your life. We will do a video like this every once in a while. I'll drop in an idiom video and see what it has to teach us. If you haven't subscribed yet, I sure do hope that you consider it if you're enjoying what we're doing here. And we hope to see you again. For you, kid, until the next video. I'll see you later. Paraya, panraya, paraya, panraya, panraya. Boy, some of these words, man, I tell you, they don't exactly roll off the tongue.